girl with a preppy vibe. Came to the spot with a friend of mine. She caught my eye. From the beginning, I was hooked. I can't tell a lie. Fresh, dressed, and fly. I respect her mind. Some dude trying to impress, but looking goofy at the same time. He bugging, she looking. I'm going for mine. Confidently, I approach with that eye-to-eye contact. She smiling while...
Hey y'all, happy Thursday. Welcome to the check-in. I see we have Mr. David Zarowski already in the house. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. So today we're going to talk a little bit about Project Freedom again. They're out here saying now that it may start back up by the end of the week. Well, today's Thursday, end of the week is tomorrow. So I guess we'll see what's happening with that, okay? They're also talking about that uh Epstein's first suicide attempt note has been released by the courts. We're gonna get into that as well. And we're gonna also talk a little bit more about Stefon Diggs and his case that he just won recently. That is the lineup for today. If you have anything you want to talk about, please do so in the chat. Now, David Zarowski has came in hot and he's saying, well, if the U.S. fails to provide protection to its allies, quote unquote, it despite its military dominance will be constrained in its military ambitions because without allies, they're limited to their borders. Okay. Oh, I missed the first note. He said Saudi Arabia banned the United States Air Force from the usage of Saudi airspace. That's why Trump stopped Project Freedom, not calls from Pakistan. Okay, I hadn't heard that. Thank you for sharing that information. He also says here, if you don't respect your allies, you will lose them, and it would be curious at least to ask their allies for permission to use their bases, etc., instead of assuming that they will say yes automatically. Got you. Okay. James Ferris is in the house. Welcome. I'm doing good. Thank you for the compliment. And how are you doing today? Yes, we're gonna go ahead and get things kicked off with our Project Freedom topic regarding it may start back up again. Let's see what they have to say about that. Let's get into it.
Saudi Arabia and Kuwait are laying the groundwork for President Trump to restart Project Freedom, the operation to guide ships through the Strait of Hormuz, which was rather abruptly halted yesterday, I believe. It's hard to keep track because everything's moving very quickly here. Joining me now, retired U.S. Navy Commander Tom Sauer, former explosive ordnance disposal officer with almost 2 decades of experience. Thank you very much, Lieutenant Commander. It's great to have you with us today.
Thanks for having me, Martha.
So it's interesting because it seems that, according to the Institute for the Study of War, they're talking about the various ways that Iran is trying to essentially establish what they have called the new maritime order, which puts them in charge of the strait, which is obviously an international waterway. So President Trump has been trying to get into the water, create these free shipping lanes, allow the movement, and block them from being able to claim that kind of governance over the strait. In the ISW, they say Iran's principal positive strategic objective at this time is to secure recognition of its sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz, which would fundamentally remake regional and global maritime norms in a manner extremely detrimental to U.S. interests. So you see this back and forth, and this story today about the Saudis maybe being involved in hitting a pause button here because of overflight rights. What's your take on all of this, Tom?
I think right off the bat, the idea of Iran controlling the Strait of Hormuz is an absolute non-starter. Imagine if Spain or Morocco were to take control of, the Strait of Gibraltar, right? I mean, it's absolutely a non-starter. That's not going to happen at all, and I know that President Trump won't allow it to happen, and neither really will the GCC or anyone else. Right now with Project Freedom, it's nobody said it was an easy thing to do, but we've already cleared at least one safe path through from mines at least. And then I think if I had to guess what were to happen is we're going to resume Project Freedom now that we have cooperation with the Saudis, is we're going to end up seeing transiting shipping go through there. And then if the Iranians decide to strike again, well, I think they're going to probably end up regretting it. And what little left they have of their naval capability capabilities are going to be gone. I think, look, President Trump wants to get a deal. He's sensitive towards polling and gas prices. I get it. That makes a lot of sense. But what is far, far more important here isn't just the Strait of Hormuz. What's really important to President Trump and, frankly, to the world is Iran not having a nuclear capability. That's what this all started out with.
Yeah. That's right. And that is the big question. Iran has tried to, it seems, carve that out and say, let's talk about that later. And they're literally holding the Strait of Hormuz hostage. It's interesting when you look at it, it's really like an Iranian invasion of territory because they laid mines in this waterway. That's an international waterway. Then they tried to charge people tolls. And it looks to me as if anybody paying a toll to get through there is sort of giving them that power. They're essentially saying, okay, you're the boss, and we're going to play by your rules. So you got to kick them out of the territory that they have invaded, I would imagine.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, the IRGC are essentially gangsters. I mean, this is like paying the mafia protection money. Right? I mean, that's what this is. So, and, look, the GCC isn't going to stand for it.
So basically, as you guys know by now, Iran says that, hey, that is their waterway to control. So they don't quite see it as if they are invading, any type of international waterway rules, if you will. That's my assessment of what I'm seeing. What do you guys think? Let's keep this thing going.
As a whole, you're not going to see the United States stand for it at all. So I really do believe that, look, nobody's suggesting right now that the end state needs to be the overthrow of the regime or anything like that. But the strait's going to have to get open. But more importantly, Iran's nuclear capability has to be completely off the table because the world will be in a much, much worse situation if you had a nuclear-powered Iran controlling the strait.
Yeah, the president has said always that that is his central tenet of any agreement here, is that kind of assurance, which obviously would require anywhere, anytime inspections in order to pull that off. Tom Sauer, thank you.
Okay, so the big things that they're looking for here, I guess, with this ceasefire agreement would be, the Strait of Hormuz being opened and being opened in a way where you don't have to pay tolls to Iran, and also Iran not having any nuclear weapons. Trump did do a press conference, and he was saying that they are agreeing to these conditions as far as the nuclear weapons, but I need to see with more certainty. Like I need to see an actual signed agreement. We've been hearing for a while about what's being floated between the two nations, if you will, and well, they've agreed to it, but okay, we need to see what is the final agreement. And then when they have that final agreement, are they going to both have the same understanding of what's included in said agreement? Like with the ceasefire, we keep hearing, well, that should be part of the ceasefire, or it's not a part of ceasefire. Like there's a lot of ambiguity as far as what should be included and not included, and that could be selective, selective understanding, if you will. What do we have here in the chat? First of all, if you're here watching on 58 of you, if you don't mind, please like the live, push me into the algorithm. If you like the vibe, please subscribe. Thank you. So we have David Zarowski saying, that the strait was free and clear before the illegal war was started. Then we have Kirby's Nation Real is speaking about Jesus, dying for you and your life and whatnot. Then David Zarowski is saying that the blockade is also illegal. And then we have Randall Froggy 8664 in the house. Welcome to the check-in. Yes. Now I did do a poll, and I want to see what we could say. So the question was, should Iran have sovereignty over Strait of Hormuz? 77% said no, 23% said yes out of 31 votes. So thank you all for participating in the poll. I appreciate you. We have now 847 saying, why are Democrats on the side of Iran? You are an un-American. Interesting. What Democrats are on the side of Iran? I haven't seen that. I just know I've seen the Democrats having questions about the war occurring in, as far as the 60 days that may have ended going before Congress. I've seen Democrats speaking more about that per se. I don't think I've seen any Democrats saying that they were on the side of Iran. I think they're saying that the war was not initiated in accordance to law. That's what I've seen over the last 10 to 11 weeks. But if you have seen differently, please feel free to include that in the chat. So David Zabrowski is saying a port in Iran has just been attacked by U.S. and HR by U.S. an hour ago. I didn't know that. Thank you for the information. Interesting. So a port was attacked by the United States. Okay. I might have to go try and look that up while we're watching this next thing here. So next we have an analyst that's saying that Iran believes that they're holding all the cards, and he's saying it's based on decisions being made and actions being conducted by the United States. So let's look at what the analyst has to say, and I'm going to see what I can find on this port being attacked in Iran by the U.S. Let's get into it.
You too. John?
With the Iranian foreign minister in Beijing, I'm sure they had some conversations about that as well. Fox News contributor Mark Thiessen with me now. He's got a new column out today in the Washington Post titled, "Trump Risks Snatching Defeat from the Jaws of Victory." You're offering the president some advice here, including and on X, where you said, here's what Iran sees. After being warned not to, they hit UAE and fired on a U.S. ship, and we didn't respond. Instead, we suspended the Strait of Hormuz mission. They take that as weakness. They don't think Trump is willing to bomb them again. They think they have leverage. He needs to prove them wrong. What would you tell him if you had the opportunity?
Exactly right. So look, first of all, let's stipulate that Donald Trump's decision to do this operation is one of the most courageous things an American president has done in my lifetime. No other president. 4 presidents said Iran can't have a bomb. Donald Trump's the only one who did anything about it. But how you start a war, how you finish a war is as important as how you start it. And right now, the Iranians are not seeing that Donald Trump has all the cards. They think they have the cards. He started Project Freedom and said, if you fired a U.S. ship or fired U.S. allies, I'm going to blow you off the face of the earth. And they did exactly that. They fired at a U.S. destroyer. They fired at our allies at UAE, and we didn't do anything. And then Marco Rubio announced that that Project Operation and Epic Fury is over, and we're now into Project Freedom. And then the next day we suspended Project Freedom. So what the Iranians see, if you're looking at it from an Iranian perspective, you see weakness. You see that the president seems to not want to enforce this blockade. That you've got this threat of attacking Gulf oil that is stopping him not only from restarting the war, but also from opening the Strait of Hormuz, and you think that you've got all the cards. Now, they don't have all the cards because Donald Trump can start the campaign again. We've got double the firepower that we had at the start of the war, and he has that cocked and ready to go.
They should have none of the cards.
They have no cards, but they think they have cards because we're sending signals to them that they have cards.
So there's this idea of a memorandum of understanding that might lead to some sort of a peace deal. Here's what Hugh Hewitt wrote about that on X. He said, this would be a terrible deal. I hope the terms of any deal would be significantly stricter. No enrichment ever. Highly enriched uranium to us, stat. No more proxies. Turn on the internet. President Trump never gives up leverage. Why would he start now with Iran on the ropes? And then this from Ari Fleischer. This is a far cry from unconditional surrender.
Yep.
You know, there's a certain zigzag quality.
We're going to pause this, okay? So we had David Zarowski saying the port of Iran has just been attacked. And so I found some intel on that. We have U.S. strikes 2 Iranian ports as American warships come under fire. 3 U.S. Navy destroyers transiting the Strait of Hormuz came under attack on Thursday, and the U.S. carried out strikes on 2 Iranian ports abutting the strait, putting into question an increasingly fragile month-long ceasefire between the 2 countries. The American destroyers USS Truxtun, USS Mason, and USS Rafael Peralta were attacked by Iranian missiles, drones, and small boats. CBS News was first to report. The U.S. Military Central Command confirmed the attacks in a statement and said the U.S. military responded with self-defense strikes on Iranian facilities, including drone and missile launch sites. The USS vessels were not struck, CENTCOM said. The U.S. targeted the Iranian ports of Bandar Abbas and Qasem. Multiple U.S. officials told CBS News. President Trump told ABC News the ceasefire is still in effect despite the strikes on Iranian targets, which he describes as just a love tap. All right, so Mr. David Zarowski came with the intel, And we also had Convoy with Upstate saying in response to Iran drone strikes, and you were accurate on that one. Thank you for your support here. We got Mr. Lou and you know it in the house. Welcome. We also have Miss Lavonda. I saw her in here. Yes, she's here. Hey girl, hey. Hey. Um we have, let's see, Anonymous saying Trump's doing us a favor. We have You Are Bewitched saying Massa Make America Straight Again. We have Stewart 2004 in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. Let's see. We also have Ryan Retired. Welcome. Saying Iran is literally in rubber boats. And Anonymous 13Q8F is saying the only card game Iran has is playing. Okay, the only card game Iran is playing is fish. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to this, and I'll check back in on the comments in a second.
To where we are in terms of decision making.
So Trump is trying to get a deal, and I understand that. But the fact is, the Iranians are not going to give him a deal when they're emboldened. They think that they are dictating the pace of
They
thought.
already said
and so
that.
he needs a reset in order to show them who's really in charge. What I would do if I was him is I would finish what he started. Reopen Project Freedom, open up the Strait of Hormuz, and tell the Iranians that if you fire on our Gulf allies and try to target their oil infrastructure, we're going to destroy your oil infrastructure. We're going to blow up Karg Island, which is 96% of their oil goes through Karg Island. If we blow up Karg Island, their economy is destroyed. And then you unleash Israel to start the combat operations again. We take care of the Strait of Hormuz operation. Israel starts targeting their leadership, their energy infrastructure, their military bases, and you finish the job. And then if they're not willing to capitulate at that point, then you say, okay, we've accomplished our military mission, and now we're going to have a covert op to send arms to the Iranians. President Trump said this week, if the Iranians get guns, they're going to overthrow the regime. So give them the guns. Let them overthrow the regime. The problem that he faces is that all of the accomplishments that he's had in terms of taking down their nuclear capabilities, their military capabilities, are necessarily temporary if this regime remains in power. Because even if he gets a deal, as soon as he's gone, they're going to break it. The only way you guarantee that these stay is if the regime is gone.
Yeah, well, and there's no indication that they're about to abdicate at this point.
No.
All right, Mark, we'll see if the message is received.
Thanks.
We'll be.
Okay. So I think he's making sense. I mean, they would need to have a regime, I guess, another regime change. I mean, they keep saying that they've had a regime change, but I don't know if we're clear on who the regime is at this point. But I'm sure the smart people know. I just don't. Let's see what we got here in the chat. We have David Zarowski. No, let's go back to Ryan Retired saying so who does research? Who knows that attacking Iran just removed the UK 100-year-old stranglehold on our dollar? Okay. David Zarowski is saying if you think that the U.S. will get 1,500 ships out of the Hormuz without Iran agreement, you are wrong. Okay. I think that you're gonna have to have Iran agreement to get any of those ships out of there, to be honest, because I mean they've been sitting there for 60 days. That's why Project Freedom was so instrumental in helping to get those sitting duck ships, if you will, out of the Strait of Hormuz. Like I said yesterday, I mean, what kind of supplies do they have on these boats? They've been there since when? Was it the beginning of March when this kicked off? My goodness, that's a long time to be stuck at sea, in my opinion. We have Stewart 2004 saying the U.S. vessels were not struck, quote unquote, keyword there. Then we have David Zarowski saying if a U.S. destroyer was sunk for Trump vanity, can you afford the body bags? Okay. Then we have Ryan Retired saying sick of U.S. destroyer. Haha, you're funny. We got Judith Ruiz. Welcome to the check-in. Saying, meanwhile, what is happening to our private shipments from Asia? I hadn't heard anything about that. What do you know about that, Miss Judith? Put it in the comments. Then we got Christopher Blow. Welcome to the check-in and saying Epstein's alive, bro. All right, y'all. So we're going to get to Epstein in about 5 to 8 minutes. Stay tuned on that, okay? If you are here, all 49 of you, please make sure you like the live And if you like the vibe, please subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into this conference this press conference that Trump had while he was talking about the upcoming UFC fight he's planning on having on the front lawn of the White House. So as you know, when he has people over at the White House, he has the press. They're there to just ask questions. I was asked questions about what's going on with Operation Epic Fury, Project Freedom, and the ballroom, and with the Vatican, all the things. So let's go ahead and get into that.
But anyway, so they're going to go outside. They're going to have some pictures taken on the balcony, the Truman balcony. I think they're going up to Truman, and there's a beautiful balcony on the White House. And do you have any questions? Only for the fighters now, I think. They want to ask about Iran and a couple of other things.
I can try on Iran.
Go ahead.
I'll bridge this. Here you go.
Yes,
You're facing. Well, I'll try. Wait. This will work. You're facing an opponent right now in Iran that has refused to submit. You seem optimistic now that you may be closer to a deal. What's different about this moment now than in other moments where a deal has seemed close?
Well, why do you say they refused to submit? You don't know that. You don't know what's going on.
They were firing on U.S. ships a few days ago.
Yeah, no, a few days ago is a long time ago. You know, in the world of war, a few days ago. No, they want to make a deal badly.
He said a few days is a
and
long
we'll see
time
if we
ago.
get
I
there.
heard
We
that.
get there. They can't have nuclear weapons. You know, it's very simple. But what's not to submit? So they had a Navy with 159 ships, and now every ship is blown to pieces and lying at the bottom of the water. They had an Air Force, lots of planes, and they don't have any planes. They don't have any anti-aircraft. They don't have any radar left. Their missiles are mostly decimated. They have some. They have probably 18, 19%, but not a lot by comparison to what they had. And their leaders are all dead. So I think we won. Now it's only a question of, look, if we left right now Iran, it would take them 20 years to rebuild. You would call that, we're in good shape, right? Fantastic. We're in good shape. And now we're doing well. Now we have to get what we have to get. If we don't do that, we'll have to go a big step further. But with that being said, they want to make a deal. We've had very good talks over the last 24 hours, and it's very possible that we'll make a deal.
So,
Yeah,
Mr.
please.
President, thank you, Mr. President. It's good to see you. What are the status of these talks? Said they're very good. Just give some insight as to where we are with them at this point.
And we've had some good talks before, as you know.
Right.
And all of a sudden, the next day, they're like, they forgot what happened. You know, they're proud, like these guys are proud. Nobody more proud than these guys. Sometimes they fight on pride because, you know, they're injured, they're hurt. No matter how great you are, you get hit by somebody else that looks like them. It's very tough, but they have great pride. These people have great pride. The others do too. Enemies have great pride. We went into Venezuela. Smart people, great people. They have a really strong military. We won it very quickly, and we have a fantastic. It's been a great thing for Venezuela. The people are really happy. They're dancing in the streets because they have a lot of money coming in through the big oil companies that are all moving in. I was with ExxonMobil last night. The chairman was here, and we were talking about Venezuela, along with a lot of them. Chevron. They were all here last night. They all want to go there and elsewhere. We just hit a new high in the stock market. The stock market's the highest it's ever been.
I didn't
And
realize
I expected that the market would be down 20-25%. I was willing to do that to get rid of a crazy country. Crazy. The people, look, you know, you talk about regime change. Their first level leaders are dead. Their second level leaders are dead. Some of their third level leaders are dead. I call that regime change. But I thought we'd be down maybe 20%, and we're up. The stock market's higher now than when we started this war. And I thought oil prices would go to $200, $250. It's at $100 now. And I think you're surprised, and I'm surprised. But even if it went to 200, it would have been worth it. I understood that. We had just set a record, 50,000 on the Dow, 7,000 on the S&P, a record. And I said, I hate to do this, but we have to make an excursion down to Iran because we can't let them have a nuclear weapon.
Not an excursion. It's a whole
And this
war.
is very simple. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon because as tough as they are, we want to keep them alive. We want to keep all of you alive. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they won't. And they've agreed to that among other things. Yeah.
Mr. President, you've had some recent back and forth with Pope Leo. I understand Secretary of State Marco Rubio is going to meet with the Pope tomorrow. What message do you hope he delivers to the Holy Father?
Well, I can tell you this, that as far as the Pope is concerned, and it's very simple. Whether I make him happy or I don't make him happy, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And he seemed to be saying that they can. And I say they cannot. Because if that happened, the entire world would be hostage, and we're not going to let that happen. That's my only message. Okay? So they're going to go out now, and they're going to have some great pictures taken, and we'll see you guys on June 14th.
Okay, y'all. So you heard what he had to say in regards to the war and what he had to say about the Vatican, the Pope. I thought the Pope, well, I mean, the Pope was saying that he just wanted them to go ahead and end the war. He's all about peace. I don't think that the Pope was saying that he felt that Iran needed to have nuclear weapons. Maybe I might have missed it, but let me know something, y'all. So we have Primal Screams. He was saying about stocks. He was saying that yeah, they're not. I guess the stocks are not. I don't know. I think Trump was saying that the stocks were higher than what they were before the start of the war. And okay, you're saying that they're not. Okay, got it. So we got James Devlin saying draft dodger, one after another. We have Judith Ruiz saying, why is my shipment of something as simple as waterproof wallpaper taking twice as long as it usually does? That's a good question. I haven't ordered anything from overseas, so I wasn't aware of the long lead times. I wasn't aware of that. So hopefully it'll still get in sooner than what it should, than what's going on here. We have Primal Scream saying 90% of stocks are owned by 10% of the country. Got you. James is saying that he's supposed to be anti-war. Okay. Then we have Gunny Walker. Welcome to the check-in, saying they never wanted a nuclear weapon. Then we got James Devlin saying, well, the clown of the Pope never say anything like that. Okay, well, I'm glad you confirmed, because I don't remember hearing that myself. So got you. Okay. So we're gonna switch gears a little bit, and we're gonna go over to Epstein. Okay. So apparently there's a note. So I guess Epstein attempted to unalive himself, but was not successful. And then so many days later he was. And apparently his cellmate had found this note. And so the court system has now required the release of said note. And this note apparently wasn't included in the different investigations that have occurred before now. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. Before I do, what are we saying here? We got David Zarowski saying no more forever wars. We have Gene Barbera saying he's lower than the pond scum. Welcome to the check-in. Then we have Assad 13 officials saying Kim Jong threatens the USA all the time. So why can't they have nukes? Interesting point. Okay. Okay. Oh, we got Caprella here talking about I love you. Hey, Caprella, welcome to the check-in. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into this Epstein and see what we're talking about on this.
News for you now. A court has just ordered the release of Jeffrey Epstein's alleged suicide note. This is an alleged suicide note, not from his actual quote-unquote suicide, but from an attempted suicide from before the one where he died. CNN's Caitlin Polance is in the newsroom with details. Caitlin, tell us more.
Jake, one of the most sought-after documents that you could imagine in the situation around Jeffrey Epstein, and a moment of transparency. This is an apparent reported suicide note. Now, there isn't a full authentication of this, and just this document has been unsealed by a judge in the case of the man who was in a cell with him in July of 2029. This note, it apparently says, and I'll read it because it is very hard to read the handwriting there, and some of these translations that we're making from the words may not be exact given how difficult it is to read his handwriting. But Jake, it says, they investigated me for months, found nothing. So 15 or 16-year-old charges resurrected. It is a treat to be able to choose one's time to say goodbye. What you want me to do? Burst out crying. No fun, not worth it. So this is a note that reportedly was discovered by the cellmate of Jeffrey Epstein after his arrest in 2019, and it was discovered in July of 2019, a time when he had apparently made a suicide attempt in jail and survived it, but then several weeks later killed himself. There have been so many investigations around Epstein, and the Justice Department has been looking to release so many documents. This one, though, was tied up in the case of his cellmate, and it now has been released at the petitioning of the New York Times.
All right, Caitlin Politz, thank you so much. With us now to discuss one of the Democratic members of the House Oversight Committee, which is investigating Epstein, Virginia Representative Congressman James Walkinshaw. Congressman, your reaction to the breaking news?
Well, look, I think it's going to raise new questions of the circumstances around Epstein's suicide. One of the frustrating things is that in 2023, the IG did a report investigating those circumstances, determined they felt it was a suicide. This note wasn't even part of that investigation. So I think it's going to add to some of the theories that are out there that it wasn't really fully investigated.
How confident are you that Epstein committed suicide, that his death was by suicide?
I think that is the most logical outcome, but I'm not 100% confident. I mean, I think we have real questions that still need to be answered. We're going to have Tova Noel, one of the prison guards, before our committee next week, and we're going to have some tough questions about large cash deposits that she made in the weeks before his death. And there's been reporting that Epstein was paying protection payments to folks in the prison. I think there's still a lot of questions that need to be answered.
So speaking of tough questions, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick was on Capitol Hill today to talk to the House Oversight Committee about his relationship with Epstein. Your fellow Democrat, Congressman Ro Khanna, called Lutnick's testimony contortions and lies. What do you think?
Well, look, here's what we know. Secretary Lutnick went on a podcast and said that he visited Epstein's townhouse once with his wife, and he was so disgusted by Epstein.
This is like he said, 2005, 2006.
That's right. He pledged, I'm never going to be in a room with that guy again. When the files were released, we learned he was in a room with that guy with Epstein multiple times. And when he was asked about that today, rather than fessing up to it and saying that he misspoke or, in my view, lied, he dissembled. He tried to argue about the definition of the word I. He said he meant that he wouldn't be in a room himself one-on-one with Epstein again. Apparently he was okay being in a room with Epstein and Lutnick's wife and family.
And his wife and family.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Strange thing. He was so grossed out he didn't want to be in a room one-on-one with Epstein.
But his kids are fine.
He would bring his kids.
Yeah, it's weird.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Unlike other witnesses before the committee, Lutnick's testimony was not videotaped. Why not?
I think it's part of the ongoing cover-up, right? And I'll never say the cover-up is worse than the crime here because these Epstein crimes are horrific. But there's been a concerted effort by the administration and the Republican allies in Congress to keep the American people from seeing this. American people deserve to see Secretary Lutnick struggle to answer these basic questions. They deserve to see the painfully odd, awkward, and weird responses he gave.
And you guys asked him about his previous comments that Epstein had engaged in blackmailing and videotapes?
That's right. We asked him what evidence he had for that. He said it was just his speculation at the time. He's since changed his mind about that, having heard from officials in the Trump administration who don't believe Epstein blackmailed anyone.
Your Democratic Virginia colleague, Congressman Suhas Subramaniam, called for Lutnick to resign. Do you agree?
I do. Look, I think it's a breach of trust. And I know this is an old-fashioned view. I don't think a cabinet secretary should just flat out lie to the American people in the way that he did. If he had come in today and shown some remorse for that, some contrition for it, I might feel differently. But that's kind of the way of this administration. You know, lies are a currency in the Trump administration, and I don't think they should continue to get away with it.
Files.
So I wonder how they decide which of the people that testify gets to be recorded and which ones do not. I mean, I remember, if you guys were here about a month ago when Hillary Clinton and President Clinton did their testimony, and they really asked her a lot about Lutnick. Okay. So I found it interesting. They finally, bring him before, the people that they don't even record it. Because I remember Hillary saying, yeah, you can bring him in and have him do, a testimony, if you will. She said that quite a few times. They kept asking her about her relationship with Lutnick. And she was just saying how, when they had 9/11, she worked with him because of quite a few of the people who worked for him died in the attack and back on 9/11. So yeah, so she was just saying he was a person who had lost a lot of employees and they were working on some different initiatives surrounding that amongst other things, but nothing that was quite, quote unquote, that was quote unquote like personal, if that makes sense. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen with the continuation of these testimonies regarding Epstein. I thought they were done with this, but apparently not. It's still going on. So we're gonna keep abreast of that. Let's see what we have here in the comments. We have James Devlin saying Trump was Epstein's BFF. Should be locked up. We have David Zarowski saying Epstein knew too much. He had to be silenced. Okay. And then we have Joyce Edward, welcome, saying America made the whole world hostage with the atomic bomb. So why complain about Iran doing the same thing with a nuclear bomb? Okay, interesting perspective. All right, y'all. So we have David Zarowski now saying just like Lee Harvey Oswald had to be silenced. I don't know much about him, but okay. For the poll, I asked, do you think that Epstein died by suicide? 100% said no out of the 12 votes. Interesting. Okay. So we were talking last night about the Stefon Diggs case. To kind of recap it on the other day, Stefon Diggs' case was tried before a court of law, and the jury decided that he was not guilty. This chef that he had stated that he tried to strangle her and that he owed her money for services and whatnot. Apparently, she had a private attorney that she had got for workman's comp stuff that provided a demand letter to Stefon Diggs for like, I think they said $5 million. And yeah, it was quite interesting. We looked at some video footage of what happened during the trial, and the lady who was the accuser, she just could not answer the questions that were being asked. I mean, the judge even had to like inform her, like, hey, you are required to, answer questions. If you can't answer the question, ask for the lawyer to, restate it, all the things, but do not introduce your perspective, if you will, into what's going on or your opinion. So all of that happened. So like I told you guys, we were gonna, have some more of the testimony tonight. And so we're going to go ahead and get into that. This first clip is the accuser. And she needed a moment during her testimony on day one. So I'm gonna let you guys see this and I'm gonna come back with my commentary and whatever you guys put, in this in these comments here. Let's get into it.
You say he smacked
He
you.
smacked me with an open hand.
Do you know which hand he used?
Right hand, right side of my
Do you know
face.
which part of your face got hit?
The right side of my face.
And then what happened?
And then he
She need a moment, y'all.
Can I have a second? Can I have a second?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you take a minute.
Right. When I went up to push his hand, like block him, like block him, he took his arm and he like came around my neck with the crook of his elbow around my neck, and he began to choke me, pressure on my neck with his elbow.
When you were asked questions about what happened on December 2nd, you lied.
It did not change what happened on December the 2nd.
I'm
It
gonna
did
try
not
my
change what happened on December the 2nd. He choked and slapped me.
Ms. Adams, I'm going to try my question again. Because you didn't think it was important. When you asked the questions of Dedham Police Officer Ellis on December 16th, you lied.
I did not lie.
Okay, so he flipped on me. So you just saw you know, the performance right there. That's what I'm gonna call it, a performance. Okay. And you see how she had to get herself together? She couldn't even muster a tear. Okay. Now when Stefon Diggs got told his that he was not guilty on all these counts or whatever, that man sat there and a tear streamed down his left cheek, honey. The camera caught that, okay? You can tell, he didn't do all that grimacing, he didn't break down, but he had a sense of relief and that tear came on down, right? And so we got Hamid Bunya saying, so it's about the Narrows. It's exactly about the Narrows. I believe that wholeheartedly, okay? Now, we had Lou here saying, I question whether she is really a ship at this point. Yeah, I don't know where she is. Now, what I did not prepare for you guys is that the chief of staff for his business, for his household, his management of his life, she was saying that she normally does the hiring and that she's hired chefs in the past and she provides them with W-9s, NDAs, all the things. But this chef was somebody that he knew. So one thing about this lady, the chef came prepared, articulate. She was very thorough in her responses. Yes, she was. And it was clear to me that he needed to let her go ahead and keep doing her job. So if she's hiring the people, you need to let her continue to hire the people. Don't be sitting over here meeting folks on your own. Let your chief of staff do her job and vet these folks. Is what he need to learn from this right here. So I don't know what was going on with Chef BBL, as they call her. But this was insanity. She had only been there since like July of 2025. And apparently the incident that is of question here occurred on the 2nd of December, because you're going to hear that date being mentioned repeatedly in what's to come. Okay. What we got going on here? So we have Lou, saying, take your time now. Go ahead and get them lies together. And then we got David saying, bull, because if this really happened, she would remember everything. Exactly. Y'all ain't gonna believe the next part that's about to come up. Then we got Hamid saying he's not smart at all. A rich man like him should hire an illegal Mexican. Hamid, they all gone now. They left. Hamid saying that's what rich people do. That's what, okay now. So he got Hamid saying that Epstein said was all illegals. That's during a different time, Hamid. We don't have that here in the U.S. no more. You see my brick in my eye? Okay, we got Lou saying, I want to know what she was cooking. They're going to get into that a little bit, okay? So what we're going to do now, we're going to look at the testimony from the hairstylist. Now, this hairstylist is somebody that has been on Diggs' team for over a year. Okay. And he flies her wherever so she can come braid his hair and do what need to be done. Okay. And this girl is about her money. Okay. So she befriended the accuser. Okay. So she befriended the accuser, and this girl is going to be very critical and key into what's going on with this with this defense that Stefon Diggs has. We got Democrats are scum in the house. What are we talking about tonight? We talked about earlier in the live stream about Project Freedom and Epstein. Now we're switching gears, talking about Stefon Diggs and the in the case that was had this week that he was found to be not guilty for. But the commentary of the accuser was just so entertaining that we had to circle back on it tonight. Let's go ahead and get into the hairstylist commentary, her testimony.
I took her to Tobago. She spent time with my family, with my grandmother. Yeah, I actually bought her ticket to go to Tobago. So, yeah.
When was that?
This was probably around Thanksgiving time.
This is the
In November,
hairstylist.
then?
She
Yeah.
bought the accuser a
November,
ticket to go
Thanksgiving,
home with her to Tobago.
following that trip, do you remember where you went after that?
I came back to New York. We came back on the same flight. I came back to New York, and she went to Boston.
Okay. Do you remember where you were on December 2nd?
Yeah, actually, I was in Target, like late evening.
What were you doing in Target?
I was shopping for ingredients because I was spending too much money on Uber, so I was buying ingredients to cook, like groceries.
You're buying groceries at Target?
Yeah.
What were you cooking?
So I wanted to make this like Cajun pasta with shrimp and like sausage. Mila had made it at the house, and it was healthy. And so I wanted to cook that because I didn't want to buy Uber Eats. I didn't want to spend money on Uber Eats, and I just wanted to be healthier and cook. And so I wanted to make it like her. So I was going through the aisles and like picking up stuff and calling Mila or message. Like I texted her a picture and asked her if it was this one, but she wasn't responding quick enough, so I FaceTime her.
All right, so let me break that down there for a minute. You're in Target. You're trying to purchase ingredients for a dinner that you had seen Mila cook?
Yeah.
You said at the house. Is that at the Dedham house?
Yeah.
Right. Did you say you were looking for, what was the ingredient you were looking for?
Like shrimp, but so she makes matcha as well. So I was trying to find out like what matcha to get, that specific one from T. Dealers, shrimp, pasta, sausage, everything like that.
So you just said a moment ago that as you were trying to find ingredients, you started by taking a picture and to Mila?
Yeah.
Do you remember what time that was at?
It was before 6 p.m. for sure, because I remember leaving my cart in Target to go pick up some dry cleaning for my boyfriend because I had to get it before it closed. So I actually left Target and came back to Target. So it was before 6 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about a specific time? Do you remember exact times?
So the dry cleaners was in Bronxville, Target was at Gateway. So I got there probably minutes to 6. So probably like the end, like ending at 4 or 5 p.m. somewhere there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned a text message or a photograph of an ingredient you sent.
Yeah.
Was there any record of that?
Yeah, I took a picture and sent it to her.
All right. Would that have had the actual time?
Yeah, and
on
location.
The message?
Yeah.
Do you think taking a look at a record might refresh your recollection of what time you sent that photograph? Did you say yes?
Yes.
If I may approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
But I'm going to ask you, do Ms. Charles
Yeah.
just take a look at that photograph. Okay?
So let me say this, y'all, just to kind of give a little bit of perspective. It's like they're talking about December 2nd. So I believe that's the day that this quote unquote strangulation may have occurred. And so what the person is questioning is, okay, so you were talking to the accuser on December the 2nd, and they're lining things up. You know what I'm saying? So she had a conversation with the girl over the phone through FaceTime. So that means she can see her on her screen, right? And then later on that night, she got her from the airport. So what you're gonna find out here is that, if she's saying that she has these marks on her body and strangulation, stuff like that. They're trying to put this into perspective here, as far as her interactions with the accuser and things of that nature. So as you guys are saying here, yes, they do put sausage and pasta over here in the States. They do from time to time. Then we have David Zarowski saying the chef's recipe could be deadly given her memory issues. I know that's right. She could have just went online and got that. Boo Monkey said, is she from the projects? I don't know. I don't know. So Lou, it says she's doing a lot more than styling hair. She needs about 3 other checks. Laugh out loud. The hairstylist here, you're gonna hear Stefon Diggs was paying her between $600 to $1,500 per appointment. So she was getting that depending on, what style he wanted. And so she has other celebrity clients. And this girl sounded like she paid. She got her a nice car. She got her a house Jersey. She got her an apartment or something, or a condo in Brooklyn. So she's doing pretty good for herself. So we got Hamid saying how they know each other. So this lady here is the hairstylist for Stefon Diggs. Yes. So she flies to people's homes to do their hair and whatnot. And so she befriended the woman that's accusing Stefon Diggs of the strangulation. And so what's happening here is that on the day of the quote unquote strangulation, she talked to the woman, because think about it. If you just got strangled by someone or were abused, would you be speaking so calmly about a pasta recipe, on the phone, helping somebody get groceries? Like, would you be that calm about it? If somebody just strangled you and tried to and hit you in the face with their right hand, you see what's going on here now? Let's keep this thing going.
I want you to look at that.
Yeah.
And after you've reviewed it, take a look up at me.
Yeah.
Having looked at that, does that refresh your recollection on what time
Yeah.
you actually began communicating with Miss Adams when you were in the target?
Yes.
And what time was that?
It says 4:38 on the picture.
Okay. Is
Yeah.
that consistent with your recollection of when you reached out to Miss Adams?
Yeah.
Now, you said you started by texting and then you FaceTimed with Miss Adams?
Yeah.
What's FaceTime?
A video call app on every iPhone.
Had you FaceTimed with Miss Adams previously?
Yeah.
And so describe how that looks. What's happening at that point when you're FaceTiming?
So I FaceTime her, I told her what I was doing, we spoke about the pasta, and all the ingredients I needed to get, and she was like, girl, I'm not going to Miami. And she said she's going to go home to Atlanta for a couple of days, then she's going to come to New York. Well, she's going to go home to Atlanta, but she's going to stop off in New York for a couple of days.
All right, let me actually stop you there. I apologize, Ms. Charles. It was not a specific question. So you said you're in Target while this conversation is happening?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you see where Miss Adams was?
Yeah.
Where was she?
She was in the kitchen.
Kitchen of what?
Of the denim house.
And how do you know that?
Because I've been there before, so I know the layout of the house. And the faucet was running, and I could see the island in the background.
Okay. You just said she mentioned Miami. Did you notice anything about her face, her physical appearance when you had this FaceTime call?
No.
I'm sorry?
No.
Did you see any redness, swelling?
No.
Was she flush?
No.
Was she teary-eyed?
No.
Were there any bruises on her?
No.
You started to talk a little bit about places she said she was going.
Yeah.
Did you end up actually seeing?
So you see, he just asked her, like, okay, did she have any redness, any bruising, any da-da-da? She's saying, no, 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 no. So she was talking to this girl on FaceTime the day that the alleged strangulation was to have occurred. That's what he's building up towards here.
That day?
Yeah. Because
following that conversation?
Yeah.
All right.
She said
Where was that?
In New York, because she said she was stopping off in New York for a couple of days. I asked her where she was going to stay. She said at a hotel. I'm like, girl, we friends. You don't have to stay at a hotel. You can stay at my place.
All right. Did you actually see her that night? Did she stay at your place?
Yeah.
So where'd you first see her?
At the airport.
What airport?
LaGuardia.
And what were you doing out there?
I went to pick her up.
What time did you pick her up from LaGuardia Airport?
She told me she was on at 11, so I got there like minutes to 11. I had to wait because I think her flight was delayed. Yeah, her flight was delayed. So I waited there for like 45 minutes.
And so, did you end up seeing Miss Adams? Did she actually get in your car?
Yeah.
You picked her up from LaGuardia Airport? When she got in your car, did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
Mm-mm.
Did you notice anything about her appearance?
No.
Was there any bruising on her at that point?
No.
What were you doing once you picked Miss Adams up?
We went to go pick up my friend Tally in Queens, And we were just chilling in the car. We were just like singing and just talking.
Anything out of the ordinary about either Miss Adams or your friend Tali's demeanor?
No.
What's your friend Tali's name? If you know?
Her name is Natalia Moses.
Okay. Your car, what kind of car do you drive?
Mercedes-Benz GLE 63S.
Is there any kind of aftermarket systems that's equipped with?
It parks for itself.
Let me ask you this. Does your car have video?
Yeah, well, I install dash cam in my car.
All right, you put the dash cam in. That didn't come with the car itself?
No.
Got it. What I'm going to ask is if we could pull up video 2, I believe, from what has been marked exhibit number 5.
This girl got a dash cam in her Mercedes, honey, recording what's going on in the car. Don't let the girl appearance fool y'all. This girl got money. Y'all see the footage?
So if we could pause it right there. All right. So this is actually, for the record, the first video in exhibit number 5, Mr. Charles. Looking at this, we've played 14 seconds. Do you recognize what we're looking at?
Yes.
What is that?
That's me in my car. Dash cam video.
All right, and that video, does it fairly and accurately represent kind of the drive you guys had?
Yeah.
All right. There's a timestamp down here at the bottom. It says 11:48 and 18 seconds p.m.
Yeah.
Is that consistent with your recollection of kind of after you had picked Mila up from the airport?
Yeah.
What I'm going to ask Ms. Silva to do is go to the next video down on that list.
Okay, I think I did it. Okay, now you can't hear nothing. Okay, hold on. I'm always doing something, messing something up, y'all. Sorry.
It looks like the timestamp on the bottom says December 3rd, 24 minutes.
Yeah.
Watching that video, what are we seeing in the video?
We were listening to Cranes in the Sky by Solange, and we were just talking about what the song was about.
Got it.
Yeah.
So when you say there, we, who is we?
My friend Natalia Moses and Mila Adams in the car.
All right, so where we pause it, it's a little hard to see, but is your testimony that Miss Moses was in the car?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got it right now.
Who's in the front seat here?
Mila Adams.
So was Miss Moses in the back seat of your car?
Yes.
Okay. What did the three of you do that night?
We went to Jersey. I have a house in Jersey City, so we went to Jersey City.
And what did you do?
Drink, eat wings, and watch TV, just chill.
All right. Did you end up staying or sleeping in Jersey City, or did you sleep somewhere else?
No, I went back to my apartment in Brooklyn.
Who went back to your apartment in Brooklyn?
Me, Tali, and Mila.
And what time do you think you got back?
I'd estimate probably like 3, 4 a.m. in the morning.
All right, so early in the morning?
Yeah.
That entire time span that we're talking about there is your description of what you just did, eat, drink, have some wings and hang out. Is that a fair description of what you did that night?
Yeah.
All right. Where'd you sleep that night?
I slept on the couch downstairs, and Mila and Tali slept upstairs in my bedroom.
Okay. Do you remember how long Miss Adams ended up staying at your house?
Probably like a week, a little over a week.
All right. That night in Jersey City and back at your apartment in Brooklyn, did you have the opportunity to observe Miss Adams?
Probably the morning we got up. Yeah, because we girls, so we get dressed in front of each other. So, yeah, the day of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say you get dressed in front of each other,
Yeah.
did you actually see Miss Adams without clothes on as you were getting dressed?
With a towel on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you observe any bruising, redness on
No.
her neck or chest?
No.
Did you observe anything on her face?
No.
I'm going to ask Ms. Silva if we can actually play the third video. And so I'm going to pause it right there and just ask you, so this image, is that a fair and accurate representation of how Miss Adams looked that day on December 3rd?
Yeah.
That video kind of depicts how she looked?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Silva. Anytime the day of December 3rd, did you notice bruising developing, redness, any kind of physical marks on Miss Adams?
No.
On December 4th, 5th, 6th, did you notice any of that?
No.
Did Miss Adams ever tell you that she had been assaulted or strangled?
No.
Did she ever mention any kind of an attack?
No.
Do you remember when she left?
I can't give you the exact date, but probably like somewhere between the 9th, 10th, or 11th. Either one of those dates.
Okay. And after Miss Adams left, actually, let me back up. Strike that. So if she got there on December 2nd, she left on the 9th, 10th, or 11th, is it fair to say she was down there for a week, maybe a little bit more?
Yeah.
All right. After she left, did you see her again?
Yeah, I saw her afterwards.
Soon afterwards? Where was that?
In Boston.
And in Boston, where were you?
So this is y'all know. So she's saying that okay, this alleged incident happened on December 2nd. She talked to the accuser on FaceTime while she was in Target getting groceries to get stuff for dinner or whatever. Okay. She found out the girl's gonna come into New York. Okay, girl, you can stay at my house. So she goes and gets the accuser, the chef. The girl stayed at her house for about a week. From like December 2nd to like December the 11th through the 14th. She couldn't remember the date, right? And she's saying that during this time, this girl did not mention to her anything about Stefon Diggs, harming her in any way. And she didn't see any, physical marks on this girl's body at all, on her face, neck, or anything. And this girl was at her home for a week, at least 7 days. That's what we got going on here. She is the braider for Stefon Diggs, celebrity hairstylist. So we got loose saying, so I now need a dash cam filming my passenger seat just in case. Well, she has a dash cam because people be trying to hit cars and stuff in New York and pretend like, hey, it's your fault or something. So that's why she got that dash cam. But you're right. I didn't know that you can actually like film things going on inside your car as well. So she wasn't playing around. She's about her money, okay? So you guys are saying that this girl got money. Boo Monkey said he had a GLE. Hamid saying an apartment in Brooklyn is not cheap. No, it's not. Okay, let's keep it going.
Where was I in Boston?
Yeah.
At the house. In Dedham.
Oh, apologies.
Yeah.
I understand. So you saw her again at the house in Dedham?
Yeah.
And when was that?
Probably the 13th.
So y'all, the house in Denham, that is where Stefon Diggs lives. So when they say house in Denham, they talking about Stefon's home that's in Massachusetts, where he stays when he's playing football in season. Okay, let's keep it going.
Yeah, the 12th or the 13th, because I had to go do his hair.
Okay. What was there some sort of time-sensitive pressure about doing his hair?
Because he had to leave to go to Miami, so I had to go do his hair. Yeah.
Okay.
I had to do his hair. Probably had a game. He probably had a game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me back you up. Miss Adams leaves New York.
Yeah.
9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
And your testimony was that you think it was on the 13th. You saw her again?
Yeah. Either 12, 13, 14, somewhere there. I'm not good with dates.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was
at the house in Dedham.
All right.
Yeah.
What were you doing in the house in Dedham?
I had to do his hair.
Who was in the house in Dedham?
His mom, Mila, me. I think Marshawn was there. Yeah. Yeah, that's where I can remember being in the house.
Okay. Did you do Mr. Diggs' hair that day?
Yeah.
What time of day?
It was late evening.
In the evening then?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
How long did doing his hair take?
Between 3 and 5 hours.
And so, do you remember when you finished doing his hair roughly?
It was late that night. Yeah, like probably 10, 11.
What kind of hairstyle is Stefon Diggs getting where it take 3 to 5 hours to do his hair? I mean, at the trial, he got his hair in them cornrows to the back, like 7, 8 on. I'm sure she has to wash his hair, probably condition it, maybe trim it. That's like no 3 hour gig. But I know she was saying that depending on what design he want, it could be more. So I don't know. I'm not a hair braiding person, but 3 to 5. I mean, I guess if he gonna fly her from New York, New Jersey, wherever he at. I mean, I guess it's for the I guess it's needed, honey. Let's keep it going.
Right there.
What did you do after you finished doing Mr. Diggs' hair that night?
I slept on the couch because I had a flight 6 a.m. that morning.
6 a.m. the following morning or that morning?
So I did his hair the night. I stayed downstairs on the couch. I was laying on the couch on my phone. I stayed down there because I had a flight early the next morning.
Got it.
Yeah.
When you were down on the couch, what happened?
Like later into the night, Mila came downstairs and she was just talking about stuff that happened earlier in the day.
All right. Let me back you up there for a moment. Did you see anything unusual on the evening of December 13th when you were doing Mr. Diggs' hair?
Yeah, so I was behind the couch. He was on the couch with Miss Stephanie. We were watching a Netflix comedy special, and we were just there kicking it. He was on his phone. Mila was in the back of us, like in a little dining area. She was on her phone. And she shouts over to him, "Yo, Steph, when am I gonna get my money?" And he responds, I think you spoke to the accountant? And her demeanor changed, his demeanor kind of changed, but I wasn't paying any attention to it. I was just doing my job. So after a while, she moves from behind on the dining table and she comes to the front, like on the side, like a love seat area thing. And she was there on her phone and she was just like laughing really loud. I don't want to imply anything, but like
No, so
okay,
let me stop you right there. You said she's over on her phone. She was laughing really loud.
Yeah.
So when she's saying she's talking about the accuser now. So she's saying that she at Stefon Diggs' house doing his hair, whatever. Him, Stefon's mom, and then the chef all, are in the same space. Okay. And so she's saying that the chef had asked him about this money that she said that he owes her, and he didn't ask her, have you talked to the accountant or whatever? Okay. So let's keep going.
Watching the comedy special?
No, she was just on her phone.
Okay. So you said later that night or the next morning you spoke to her again?
Yeah, like in the probably midnight, 1 a.m.-ish. Yeah, she came downstairs and we were talking. Yeah.
When she came downstairs, was there anybody else downstairs?
No, just me and her.
And what did she tell you when she came downstairs?
She asked me if he was annoyed.
She asked you if
if he was annoyed.
And that's Mr. Diggs?
Yeah.
Did she tell you she was going to do anything?
Yeah, she was trying to antagonize him while she was on the couch, like trying to get beneath his skin, and she was
Sustained.
Okay.
So let me ask you this way: did she?
So she just said that the accuser, that Chef BBL, that's the accuser, was trying to antagonize Steph Diggs while he was getting his hair done. Who? If now let's think about it. We already know the deal. That it was more than just some chef services going on here, right? One can assume, allegedly. Why would you be trying to get under somebody's skin, making these comments about this money? And she was really trying to get a reaction out of him to do what she's trying to do. What she tried to do was to get this man to go off on her or something, and trying to get some money, but it didn't work out for her. Let's keep this thing going with the hairstylist
Indicate
here.
when she came downstairs that she was going to do anything. Did she tell you she was going to take any action?
Yeah, she said she's gonna sue him
For what?
for the money that he owes her, and like she gonna take it to the blog. She gonna
Take it to the block?
blogs.
Got it.
Yeah. It was like an hour-long conversation, so it was a lot. So.
Let me start with that.
Oh, sorry.
So, do you remember her saying that she was going to make him pay?
Yeah.
Do you remember her saying anything about a hostile work environment?
Yeah.
Let me have one moment, Your Honor.
Yeah.
A couple things I want to follow up with. It's Charles. Did Miss Adams, prior to her coming down that night, 1 a.m., and having this conversation with you, did she tell you that she'd been assaulted? Did you heard anything about a strangulation and assault?
No.
That night, when she was talking about the suing Mr. Diggs, did she say that she had been assaulted?
No.
I want to back up down to kind of early in your testimony. You said you have a dash camera in your car. How long have you had that?
Probably a little after my birthday, which is September. So, yeah. Probably end of September, beginning of October.
Okay, why do you have that?
Because people are scamming in your insurance fraud. Like they hit your car, they see you have a nice car, and they try to get money out of you.
In New York, you said?
Yeah.
I don't have any further questions.
Cowell, care to inquire?
Good afternoon, Ms. Charles.
Afternoon.
So you've been doing Mr. Diggs' hair, you said every 2 to 3 weeks?
Yeah.
For how long?
So I started doing his hair when he was at the Buffalo Bills. And then last year, like a little before the Met Gala last year, is when like I started doing it consistently.
Okay, so for more than 1 year you've been doing it, or?
Yeah.
And that's you said like a 3 to 5 hour appointment every 2 to 3 weeks. How much do you get paid when you do that?
It depends on the style that I do. It could range from $600 to probably $1,500.
And you said that sometimes you go to the games afterwards.
Yeah.
How many times has that happened?
I went twice when I was in Dedham, once in New York, and once at the Super Bowl.
And you also said that at least on one occasion you slept over his house. Did you sleep over his house often, or?
No.
She said that real quick.
Probably August, September.
So at the time when she went to New York, you'd known her for 2-3 months, something like that?
Probably, yeah.
And you'd known him for over a year?
Yeah.
And you'd seen him every 2 to 3 weeks for 3 to 5 hours?
Yeah.
So is it fair to say you knew him better than you knew her?
No, because we have a client service provider relationship. So
That's right, keep professional, girl.
Were you doing his hair, do you talk to him?
I keep it professional, so just how's the game, stuff like that, nothing in his personal life.
If I may, one moment. Nothing further.
So he wanted to know if she knew Stefon Diggs better than Chef BBL, although she's known him longer. But this is the thing. She had just said on her testimony that she didn't took this girl home with her to Trinidad and Tobago. This girl that met her family over there, her grandma. When the girl came to New York, we friends. You can stay at my house. She just stayed at her house for a week, and you just met this girl, less than 6 months before. You know what I'm saying? They ain't, what she said, we dress in front of each other because we girls. Okay, now. We got Hamdi saying she went VIP Super Bowl. You know she did. You know that she did. See, these are the kind of people that Stefon Diggs need to have in his corner, honey, because that girl, she got other celebrity clients. She could have been like, you know what, I want to be involved, but she got involved. She told the truth. She had that dash cam, you know, where you can see clear as day that girl face because she's sitting in the passenger seat, and you do not see any type of discoloration on her face or anything like that on this dash cam. They have sat there and tried to have these conversations. They've had all these conversations with this girl in this car. She ain't said not one thing about being strangled or any of those things at all. Okay, look, I would have been like Tina Turner running out that hotel on what look got to do with it. If I had experienced what she said she did, you said this man slapped you and strangled you and all of that. I would have been, once I got free, I would have been telling my girls in the car what happened to me. I done been hit. I done did this, that, and the other. This girl ain't said nothing to these chicks and was there with them for 7 days plus. Then then the girl calling her in the midst of when she was supposedly being, abused, and they up here talking about groceries at the store at the Target to make some pasta. That's what this was about right here. Okay. We got David Zarowski saying, I did not have relations with that woman, the hairdresser, Diggs. Baby, she making it clear because she got a man, the hairdresser does. Because when you'll see on this next thing how the friend was saying, oh yeah, she went to her boyfriend's house. This girl, whatever man she got, she ain't about to jeopardize that for no Stefon Diggs, okay? Because she made it real clear. I do not stay there. I stay there. I don't sit all the time. Which in this case here, she came, did the man hair that evening. She got done around midnight. Her flight was at 6 a.m. No need for her to go get no hotel, just sleep on the couch and I'm going about your day. You know what I'm saying? So I get where she at with that. But no, homegirl was like, she ain't messing with what she got going on with her man for no Stefon Diggs foolishness. Oh, she was very clear about professional. I don't ask about his personal business. That girl don't want nobody thinking that she got anything going on with a celebrity because she ain't trying to mess up her money. Okay? That's my 20 cents on that. We got Hamdi saying 50K per seat for the Super Bowl VIP seat. Lou says he's trying to find out if she knows Diggs biblically. Laugh out loud. She don't know that man biblically. Now, next up, we're gonna meet the homegirl that was there when Chef BBL was staying at the hairdresser's house. It was 3 of them, remember? The hairdresser said that she was on the couch and her friends were up there in her bedroom. We about to go ahead and meet the friend. Let's get into it.
Can you state your name and spell your last name for the record, please?
Sure, my name is Natalia Moses, Moses.
All right, and I'll just ask you to keep your voice up a little bit so that everyone in the court can hear.
Sure.
Do you also go by a nickname?
Yes, Tali.
Tali is your nickname?
Yes.
All right. Where do you live?
I live in Brooklyn, New York, and I've just moved. I live in Florida. I go between Brooklyn and Florida as I have a business in Florida as well.
Okay.
Go ahead,
and,
girl.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a hairstylist.
Do you work for any particular salon or on your own?
No, I have my own business.
Okay. Do you know Shy Charles?
I do.
How do you know Shy?
Shy and I met in 2018. I started off being her assistant, her braiding assistant.
Okay. Do you still work with Shy?
No.
All right. What about Stefon Diggs? Do you know Stefon Diggs?
No, not personally.
Have you ever met Stefon Diggs?
No.
Is Stefon Diggs a client of yours?
No.
Okay. Do you know Mila Adams?
I do.
How do you know Mila?
I know Mila through Shy.
Okay. When is the first? Have you ever met Ms. Adams?
I have.
And when is the first time you met her?
I want to say December 2nd into December 3rd. Around that time, that was the first time I met her in person, but I would have spoken to her on the phone on multiple occasions before.
Okay. And did you talk to her, just the two of you, before December 2nd?
No, not just the two of us. We would always speak with Shy in the middle, so it would always be on Shy's phone. So I never spoke to her one-on-one prior to December 2nd.
I see. Okay. So Shy and Ms. Adams had a relationship.
That's correct.
And then and you and Shy have a relationship.
That's correct.
And sometimes the three of you would talk.
That's correct.
Understood. And were these calls professional calls?
She's making it clear that she ain't got no relationship with Chef BBL, that she knows Chef BBL through her friend, Stefon's celebrity hairstylist. But she has met her in person, but typically her relationship was with the celebrity hairstylist, and that's how she connected with Chef BBL. That's what I got from all of this right here. Let's keep it going.
Business calls, personal calls?
Personal calls.
Okay. All right. So what were the circumstances under which you met Ms. Adams on December 2nd?
So she said she was passing through to New York, and Shy told her, well, she could stay at her house. I just came from Atlanta because I had a job in Atlanta, and Shy told me that she would pick me up as we were coming in from the same airport. I, however, came in before Miss Adams, so I went to my family's house, and Shy picked me up from there with Miss Adams in the car.
Okay. And where was your family's house?
In Queens.
All right. And that was the first time you met Ms. Adams?
In person, yes.
In person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I take it you had been in Shy's car before?
That's correct.
All right. And can you describe her car, the outside of it?
It's a white Benz AMG.
Okay. And can you just describe the inside of her car?
She has a red interior.
All right.
Okay, girl.
Does she have any recording devices in her car?
Yes, she has a dash cam in her car.
All right. And can you describe what that dash cam looks like?
It's a rectangular shape. She has it on the top of the windshield.
Okay. So you can see it when you're sitting in her car?
That's correct.
All right. And did you know that dash cam was in there?
I did.
All right. Did you know that on December 2nd?
Yes, I did.
And you could see it when you were sitting in the car on December 2nd?
Yes, I did.
All right. After Shy and Ms. Adams picked you up in, I think you said Queens?
Yes.
What did you do after that?
We went to New Jersey.
And what did you do in New Jersey?
We was just chilling at the house. We bought food and, girl time. We was just hanging around watching music videos and stuff like that.
Okay. And during that time, it's a strange question, were the lights on?
It was.
Okay. When you were with Shy and Miss Adams at the house in New Jersey, did you notice any marks or bruises or redness on Ms. Adams' face?
I did not.
Could you see her neck at that time?
Yes.
Did you notice any marks or redness or bruises on her neck?
No, I did not.
Did she complain at any point about soreness or stiffness or soreness or stiffness?
No, she did not.
You testified. Did you see her eat?
I did.
Did you see her drink?
I did.
Did she seem to have any difficulty swallowing?
She did not.
Did she complain about difficulty swallowing?
No, she did not.
Or sore throat at all?
No.
All right. Did her voice sound hoarse?
No, it did
Did her
not.
voice sound any different than it had sounded when you previously spoke with her?
No.
So basically, the lady is asking the person on the stand, about Chef BBL. You know, did you see any bruises? Did she sound hoarse? You know, how was she talking? Because this girl literally was saying that that same day, you know, that she got strangled allegedly and slapped and all that. She had all these bruises, couldn't talk, whatever. And then you got two people that were with her later on that day and the next day, and they don't see, and ain't nothing going on with this girl. Listen, we have Boo Monkey saying, did she have any problem swallowing the sausage? I don't know. Let me keep this going.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary in her appearance or her behavior on December 2nd?
I did not.
Okay. How long did you end up spending time with Miss Adams in New York City?
Approximately a week.
Okay. Did you spend that whole week? And I'm sorry, I should have asked this question. Did you stay in that house in New Jersey on December 2nd?
No, we went to Shy's house in Brooklyn.
Okay. And did you end up staying there that night?
We did.
Did you stay there also on the night of December 3rd?
I did.
And did you stay there all the way up until December 9th?
I did.
Okay. And did Miss Adams stay there as well?
She did.
Where did you sleep in the Brooklyn house?
We all slept in Shy's room.
Okay. By all, you mean you, Miss Adams, and Shy?
And Shy.
Okay.
Sometimes Shy would go to her boyfriend's house, so sometimes it would just be Miss Adams and myself.
Okay. I take it you at some point woke up on December 3rd.
Yes.
And what was Ms. Adams' behavior like on December 3rd?
She was fine. She was bubbly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A good personality. She didn't show any signs of anything wrong.
No distress.
Okay. Did she cook for you?
She made breakfast.
Okay. And same question on December 3rd. Did you spend December 3rd with her?
I did.
Did you see any bruises, redness, marks on her face at that time?
No.
Were you able to see her neck on that day?
Yes, I did.
Were you able to see her chest on that day?
Yes, we all stayed in the same room, so we got dressed and everything together.
Okay, understood. And did you see any marks or bruising or redness?
No.
On any of those areas? Okay.
So she's consistent with what she's saying with the celebrity hairstylist. These two chicks are consistent. They not giving slow on none of these questions they're asking, that they're answering rather. They're not giving slow. They're not saying, well, I don't know. I don't understand the question. They're not doing none of that. These are some chicks about their money and about their business, okay? David Zarowski talking about sausages. Let me keep this going. I ain't messing with y'all on this.
Did you see any such marks or bruises or redness, anything like that, the entire week you spent together?
No.
Okay. Did there come a time where Ms. Adams asked you to take a look at her hair?
Yes.
Can you? What was that? How did that come about?
So I was supposed to do her hair. So a stylist, I would analyze her hair. I would lift it up just to see if, the style that we was going to do. I was trying to decide on the style that we was going to do. So I did have close-up view to her neck and her hair.
Okay. And in the course of lifting her hair and looking at her neck, did you see anything?
No.
Okay.
Okay, y'all. So we have 63 people here. Please like the live stream, support the channel. If you like the vibe, please subscribe. We're here Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursday, 7:15 p.m. Eastern. Let's get back into it.
Do you remember taking a couple of videos of Ms. Adams while you were together in New York?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember approximately when that was?
Possibly December 7th.
Check this out, y'all. This is T.
Okay. And I will ask Mr. Kettlewell to very smoothly play Exhibit 8, please.
Y'all, check this out.
Okay, and we could just pause that. Sorry. Ms. Moses, is this one of the videos that you took of Ms. Adams?
Yes, it is.
All right. And can you just describe where you are?
We were in Shire's room there, and we were just goofing around, listening to music and dancing and stuff.
Okay. And then if you could just complete that video, please. All right. And then, Mr. Kettlewell, if you could play Exhibit 9, please.
The other video on Exhibit 9?
Yeah. And can you just hit pause for a second? Thank you. Is this the other video that you took of Ms. Adams?
Yes, it is.
And that was on that trip in New York?
Yes, it is.
Between December 2nd and December 9th?
Yes.
Okay. And was this close in time to the first video?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Mr. Kettlewell, if you could keep playing.
Hey, 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 hey.
And was that video that you took, was that consistent of how Miss Adams was being with you?
Yes.
Okay. Did anyone ask you to take that video?
No.
But Miss Adams knew you were filming her.
She did.
Okay. And the entire time that you were with Miss Adams in New York City, did she mention anything about being hit?
She did not.
Did she mention anything about being choked?
No, she did not.
Did she say or do anything that suggested to you that Steph Diggs had hurt her or scared her in any way?
She did not.
Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Kamala?
Just briefly, that New York trip, was that the first time you had ever met Miss Adams in person?
That's correct.
You said you didn't see any bruises on her. Were you looking for bruises on her?
No, but she was in my face.
Nothing further.
Hey, she shut that down.
Thank you, ma'am. You may step down.
Thank you.
Shut that all the way down right there. I wasn't looking, but she was all in my face. Go ahead, girl. Walk on out of there. Yes, ma'am.
Has to be heard.
All right,
Sorry.
defense for us. All right.
The fun, but
Jurors,
thank God for
so
these
the
women.
defense has rested. There's no further evidence in this case, so that is closed. So that means that, as I predicted for you, what remains will be the closing statements of the attorneys.
Okay,
and
she's
then
giving
I will
her
give you my
directions to the
instructions for
jury.
you on the law.
Stefan need
What
to
we're
be
going to
thanking
do
the
is we're going to
Lord
suspend for the lunch
for
and
these
recess,
women
and
he
we
had
will
in his corner.
resume at 2 o'clock with all of them. Okay? So there should be, your lunch order should be ready, hopefully, and we'll see you back here in a little over an hour.
Yes, thank the Lord for these women, honey, because look at what happened with Bill Clinton when he had that case with the lady from like many years ago, and it was his word against hers, and she ended up getting paid millions of dollars. This could have been the same situation, but those women stepped in for him. Even like I said, even that chief of staff, she stepped in and had some things to say on his behalf too. Okay, it could have went differently. It could have. I mean, but that girl talking the way that she was talking, not answering the questions and all that. These two women that we just saw, the hairstylist and then, the friend, they got their money and they came, or that last girl was very articulate. Okay, man, I'm with you on that. We have David Zarowski saying this is how ridiculous the chef is. Lawyers getting paid for nothing. And this is the thing, from what it sounded like, yes, that she only had a lawyer for the workman's comp. She didn't have a lawyer for this case. That the lady who was her workman's comp lawyer only came to support her. And like I said, I don't know who just does support and not getting paid, and they're a lawyer in a courtroom. That we have Bull Monkey saying that's a 5 hour hair job. Exactly. Just some cornrows slick back. That can't be 5 hours. And then a line up around the edge. I don't know about that. Then we have KR Burb saying I miss me some collard greens and cornbread. Hillary Clinton evil. Okay. Then we have Bull Monkey saying, but if their evidence was different, then they would lose their income. They could have decided not to be witnesses, essentially. They could have just, because a lot of what they brought to the table for the celebrity hairstylist, most of her commentary was about what happened in New York, where she was at. She had very little interaction with what was going on in Massachusetts. Like she came in the day that I guess the police was called or whatever, when that girl was trying to harass this man, asking him about this money and whatnot. So she was doing his hair and she saw the girl trying to, get her his skin. But a lot of the evidence they brought to the table, the two queens here, was from when they was in New York and the girl stayed at this girl's house. It was all by happenstance that this girl ended up staying at this woman's house because she was to go to a hotel. You see what I'm saying? And they could have not said anything about, oh no, we were with her that day. But she had loyalty to Steph. Now the girl that we just saw, she don't even know Steph Diggs. She only knows his hairstylist. But because she was there and staying in that girl house, she went ahead on and just told the facts. It was by happenstance that she took those videos of that girl dancing. You see what I'm saying? So we have Lou saying, laugh out loud. No, he had to get the quick cornrows because his hairdresser had to prep for a trial. But honestly, I feel like he get that hairstyle quite often when I've seen him in the media, but I could be wrong. Then we have Buddha saying, love you too. Then we have David Zarowski saying, honestly, the hairdresser and the other girl have nice cars, so how much the chef was earning, the chef also had expensive car too. She may have. I mean, then she was staying at this man's house. So I think there was some issues and debates about her wanting to be paid when she wasn't there. It was different things that she had, but they said that the man lived for $5 million. So I don't know what this girl trying to get paid. Then we had Bull Monkey saying 5 hours she could have fully decorated a Christmas tree in that time. Bull Monkey, I ain't messing with you. I guess she could have did a full Christmas tree decoration. Then we got Clay saying that he or she needs the AC on. Okay. Yeah, come that AC. If you hot, you don't need to be around here hot. And not doing well. But yeah, y'all, that's what we got on this case with Stefon Diggs. No queen stepped in and helped say that they was very instrumental into him getting that not guilty verdict. Now, I'm not saying that he did anything, but as we saw with the whole situation with Bill Cosby, having people that can advocate for you that had their own evidence, that dash cam, and that girl doing a little video of her dancing, where you can clearly see this girl ain't had no marks or bruises or nothing, and she light skinned. So you can see that clearly when you have more fair skin. But yeah. So we have Lou talking about not like stem pineapple tree, and then he got these laughing emojis. Okay, y'all. But anyway, so what have we talked about today? We talked about Project Freedom, possibly kicking back off again. We'll see what happens with that. We talked about what else did we talk about? About Epstein and that initial unaliving note being released to the public. And we were talking about Stefon Diggs for the longest, y'all. And what was going on with that court case that he had, and how them women, them queens came in and helped solidify some things for him. So my understanding that he's not with the Patriots right now. So hopefully he will get signed with someone and can continue his NFL career. I know someone mentioned last night, that he doesn't come to practice on time and stuff like that. He need to change up his whole game. Go holler at Michael Vick. And Michael Vick had it worse and was able to bounce back. Get with Michael Vick, get with somebody that's a vet, and change the narrative. You know what I'm saying? Because right now you don't need to be sitting over here not coming to practice late and doing all this other foolishness. We got Boo Monkey saying that he's going to bed. Have a good night. Thank you for being here. But yes, y'all, I am going to not be here on Monday. I am flying home for Mother's Day. So I'm traveling back on Friday. So I don't want to try to schedule anything and then risk not being able to be here on time. Okay? So I will definitely be back on Wednesday next week. If I choose to come back on Tuesday, I'll do a notification in the system. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and get my notifications and everything. And with that, you all have a great night, a great weekend. And for all the mothers, happy Mother's Day. Thank you for all that you do. And I will talk to you guys hopefully next Wednesday at the latest. Bye.